I'm joined by Kyle Boggemus. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian to Mars. Zach Allen.
I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack here, Arilax.
Welcome to Making Magic Happen. We're coming to you from the fine RAW Hobbies and Games store in Livonia, Michigan. I am Zach Allen, joined by my teammate.
I'm Kyle Boggemus.
And today we have some more Paper Modern for everybody. We're playing some Goblins versus some Blue-White Stoneblade. I'm going to be playing Goblins. Everyone's seen this on the channel already if you've been watching the videos. I've played it through a PTQ. We've played it a couple times on stream, so I think most people are pretty familiar with the deck, but I'm going to give you a quick rundown anyway. It is basically the entire deck is a creature deck that's all Goblins, so it's based around Aether Vial. I think Aether Vial is the best card in the deck. Hands that have Aether Vial are significantly better than hands that don't. I lean towards keeping any hand that has it and can cast it because it's just that good in the deck. Now, it's all built around Conspicuous Snoop. It's a 2-mana 2/2. I played the top card of my library revealed. I can cast Goblin spells from the top of my library, and it has all activated abilities of all cards on top of my library. Now, this combos with Bogart Harbinger, which is a 3-mana 2/1 that when it enters the battlefield can put a Goblin on top of my library. And we put Kiki Jiki on top of the library with it. That lets my Snoop tap as many times as I want to make a bunch of tapped Conspicuous Snoops. From there, I can either activate this in your end step to untap with a bunch of Snoops, or I can use the last Snoop to copy Bogart Harbinger again and get a Sling Gang Lieutenant, put that on top, and drain you out. The Sling Gang Lieutenant can happen all at instant speed, so if I can find a spot with maybe an Aether Vial to do some vialing stuff in when you're tapped down, I can kind of like kill you instantly. I'm a Thoughtseize deck. That's my main disruption. I'll be able to look at your hand, take maybe the one Path to Exile you're kind of counting on to kind of clear the way for my Snoop. That's kind of how it plays. Every creature in the deck is a Goblin, so I have 3 copies of Cavern of Souls. That also works kind of with my sideboard plan of Chalice of the Void, so I can put a Chalice on 2 and still cast my Goblins. Not super important for this matchup. That's not really what it's for, but the Cavern is still going to be really good in this matchup because it's a blue deck. There's a lot of counter spells. It kind of turns all those off. Now, in this matchup, I can combo. Unfortunately, it's really hard to combo a deck that has Path to Exile and Spell Snare if I don't have my Cavern or my Vial, and a lot of ways to kind of break up the combo. Snapcaster Pass, Snapcaster Dismember. You could Teferi Bounce. There's just a ton of things you can do. Even like a Cryptic Bounce isn't the worst if you're trying to break up the combo. So there's a lot of ways for you to break up the combo, and what's actually going to happen here is I need to play a fair game to kind of just beat you on the board, and the way I do that is with Goblin Mairon, which is a 3-mana 1/1 that lets me tutor for any Goblin and put it in my hand. And usually I'm going to be getting Goblin Ringleader, which is a 4-mana 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, I reveal the top 4 cards in my library and put all Goblins into my hand. So I want to just be casting Goblin Ringleaders, getting a bunch of Goblins, filling up my hand, and just kind of flooding the board to eventually kind of drain you out with Sling Gang. I also have Goblin Chieftain to give my Snoop haste, so I can combo all in one turn. If I have a Chieftain in play already, I can just play a Snoop, play a Harbinger, just go off at instant speed. And then I have my 2 fair spells, which I'm playing a Goblin Crater Maker, which is really just a 2-drop because the deck doesn't have that many good 2-drops, and it's kind of there for Eldrazi-tron or Big Tron. It's a good way to kill a big colorless permanent like a Karn or an Ugin, one of those things. It does, however, in this matchup let me kill a Stoneforge Mystic if I need to. I can let you vial in the batterskull and then pop it to destroy the batterskull as a colorless permanent. Same thing with Sword of Feast and Famine. And then I also have just Munitions Expert as a way to kill your Stoneforge Mystic. I can kill a Spell Queller if you quell one of my things, or it even hits Planeswalkers, so if you got a Teferi in play, maybe you're trying to save up a bounce, I can kill the Teferi or stop you from getting a bounce, and kind of can pressure a Jace too if I need to kill the Jace. So that's what I'm bringing to the table. Kyle, what do you have for us today?
Yeah, so today I have Blue-White Stoneblade, my favorite deck in Modern. So I've kind of a stock list. Right now everyone's on playing 3 copies of Shark Typhoon. I'm just trying to and kind of going with a hybrid between Shark Typhoon and Spell Queller. So the main build around here, Stoneforge Mystic, searching for Sword of Feast and Famine and Batterskull. So those are kind of the stock equipments. They're going to be very good in this matchup. I'll be looking to get Batterskull since Zach has a lot of red creatures. So
I was gonna say you can attack through a Slinging or a Harbinger, but yeah, or even a Munitions Expert if I wanted to block with that, I can't. But Slinging actually makes red goblins, so that's it's not really for the protection from black mode.
yeah, I have flyers, so I can attack over the little pesky red creatures. But in general, I'm looking to Batterskull because I expect Zach to be pressuring my life total. The removal, pretty stock with 4 path, but I have one Dismember. That's actually going to be really good in this matchup to interact with the Conspicuous Snoop combo. The Planeswalkers, fairly stock for the first 2 Teferi, but the last one I'm just kind of playing because I expect a lot of blue decks and Teferi's, King of the Blue Mirrors. So that's my 3rd copy of Teferi that not everyone plays, but I like it a lot.
I actually think that's a really good call on your part. There's so many blue decks in the metagame right now, and Teferi is just the card that matters more than anything else. If one player has a Teferi and playing a blue mirror, they're winning. That basically is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I've actually watched a lot of videos where the Teferi player can either resolve a Teferi or a Jace, and they actually just don't know the answer because it's very close, which is very telling. But Teferi's, in this matchup, Teferi is kind of like Jace, except it's cheaper and it resets Aether Vial, which I expect that to be relevant, and it can also just bounce Conspicuous Snoop.
I think resetting Aether Vial is a really big deal. Resetting an Aether Vial against a deck like Humans, not really the biggest deal. Humans are probably going to have a 1-drop to put in. They're probably going to have a 2-drop. It really just helps them kind of curve out again against you. Mm-hmm. Against this deck, I don't even have 1-mana Goblins in my deck, so it at least sets me back 2 turns. And I probably will cast my 2-drops, so really, bouncing Aether Vial is really good against Goblins.
Yep. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how good it is. It's definitely not supposed to shine in this matchup, but we'll see. I think it could definitely exceed my expectations. Mm-hmm. As far as the kind of mid-range creatures that I have 2 Snapcaster Mage, 2 Shark Typhoon, 2 Spell Queller. Spell Queller going to be very important against Zach's Cavern of Souls, since I can counter uncounterable goblins because Spell Queller exiles spells. Snapcaster Mage, I expect that to more or less just be flashing back Dismember and Path to Exile.
Sure.
Just 3 mana Necrotal Shriekmaw
Yep.
creature, be very good, and it blocks. I'm kind of worried about your chip shot damage.
That really is.
I think
think that's smart too, because that's really how I win. It's so hard to combo against those decks, and I really am trying to Ringleader and Slinging you out of the game.
Yeah, and Shark Typhoon, I expect to be pretty decent in this matchup. I would actually prefer more Spell Quellers.
Sure.
But I will settle for like a 3/3 Shark token.
Yep.
I think that might go a long way toward helping me stabilize or protect a Jace.
3/3s are actually huge in this matchup. I don't really get bigger than 2/2. Even my 5-drops are 2/2. If I have a Chieftain in play, I can get some 3/3s, but yeah, 3/3 is gigantic against Goblins.
Yeah, so I expect it to be pretty decent in this matchup.
Yep.
And the counter spells are pretty stock. Spell Snare will either be insane or trash, depending on if Zach starts out with Cavern or Aether Vial. That's kind of the nature of the beast when it comes to Spell Snare. Archmage's Charm. This is going to be a good counter spell because even if Zach has Cavern of Souls or Aether Vial, I can steal Aether Vial, or I can just play a 3-mana Divination. So I can kind of move away from just worrying about countering spells. So it's not completely dead, which is a huge plus. Same with Cryptic Command, tapping all the creatures, going to be very important. And then Force of Negation. This one's kind of innocuous, but I can chuck like one of the more expensive blue cards in my hand. It'll probably be Teferi in a lot of games, or just a crappy counterspell. But being able to counter a Thoughtseize, I think, will be very important because I think my main avenue to victory is Stoneforge plus Batterskull. So having a Force of Negation for a Thoughtseize or a Tarfire is going to be really important.
Also, just forcing my Aether Vial is usually a pretty good play too.
Yeah, I will do that 100% of the time.
Sure.
I think 95.
All right, fair enough.
95.
All right, let's shuffle up in battle.
All right.
All right, Kyle, you want even or odd for the die?
Even.
It's odd.
All right.
Let's see how these hands look. Okay. So I have these two spells, which are great in the matchup. I have lands, and I've got some early disruption, so I think this is an easy keep.
Okay, my hand against goblins. I mean, goblins just kind of feels like a tricky matchup for me. I don't think this planeswalker is like super awesome in this matchup, but I do have my namesake card, so I think I'm gonna keep.
Okay. So I could lead on this to make sure that this happens, but I think if Kyle forces negations, that's fine for me. And I think what's going to end up happening is I play this on 1 and this on 2, and I'm going to do this one tap because I want to be able to do this on 2. So even though I don't like to play the Anti-Hovel ahead of time, I'm going to play Hovel. I'm going to reveal Tarfire. Then I'm going to cast Aether Vial.
Resolves.
It's your turn.
Okay, so I'm just gonna play Hollow Fountain past you.
Alright, in my upkeep, my Aether Vial goes to 1. I'm going to draw. I'm going to cast a Thoughtseize.
Okay.
So, Kyle's going to get to Teferi me. I can't really stop that, but it's also not the end of the world here. My hand actually plays a pretty good fair plan. I already have the Tarfire. I showed that on the Hovel, so I'm not super scared of the Stoneforge Mystic. I think the pretty easy play here is to just take one of the Teferis. Scriptic's not really doing anything against my hand, so yeah, I'm going to take a Teferi. And then I'm going to play a Blood Crypt tap and pass to you.
Okay, so draw another one of these. So I'm just gonna kind of play on curve, Stoneforge, searching for a batterskull. Go ahead.
All right. Take my vial up to 2. Draw for turn. I'm going to put a mountain into play, and then go ahead and Tarfire this now, so you don't get an activation if I let you untap.
Alright, Stoneforge is dead. No force negation. I think I would force there if I had that.
That makes sense.
I think that would be worth it.
I agree. It's your turn.
Okay. So here, this looks like it's a fairy turn. So I'm going to crack my lesser fetch land for an island. And I'm going to cast a fairy. I'm kind of like priced in. I don't really have anything better to do, and Vial's kind of scary.
Sure.
I'm going to cast that, return that.
Alright. I'm going to respond to the minus and activate. And I'm going to put a Munitions Expert in and deal 1 to Teferi.
Okay.
And then my vial goes back to my hand.
I draw a card, and I'll pass you.
Alright. That's a really awkward draw. It's alright though. I'm going to play an Anti-Hovel and reveal Sling Gang.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Sling Gang.
Alright.
I get 2 Gobos. Come on, Gobos. And then I'm going to attack you for 1.
19. No, 18.
Yes, you have fetched.
Yep.
It's your turn. Given that I've seen Stoneforge Mystic, I'm not going to respect a sweeper here. You certainly could have one, but I think like just letting you get to 5 mana and playing a batterskull is going to be worse for me overall. So I'm kind of trying to put the pedal to the metal here and go. If you have a sweeper, you got a sweeper.
Yeah, so this will give me my 3rd blue for Cryptic Command. Batterskull is an option next turn. So I'm just going to pass for now.
Alright. Draw for turn. I'm going to go to combat.
Okay, just want to make sure I understand. Some gang. Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Take you for 4.
I'm at 14.
Alright. Second main, I'm going to cast an Aether Vial.
How many cards do you have in hand?
2 after that.
2. I think if I want to counter the Aether Vial. Because, like, I'm going to be tapping out for Batterskull, so I definitely got to do something here. Yeah. I'm going to Cryptic. Just grab a normal island here. Counter Vial, draw card.
You got it. I'll let you draw your card in case you draw a force negation, because that might be relevant for the next play.
Okay.
I'm going to cast an Aether Vial.
Ooh, okay. Dang. Okay. Go to my turn.
The result?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sorry.
Yep.
Okay, so Zach does not have... does he have 1 card in hand? Is that right?
Uno.
Okay. Well, this will not work favorably with Batterskull for me.
Yeah, I can kind of use Sling Gang to stop you from gaining life. It's kind of a slow process, though.
So I could run out Batterskull here. I'm not gonna die next turn. Interesting decision here. So the worst thing you could do, Kiki Jiki would be pretty bad for me. Doesn't feel... Zach might have a ringleader in hand because I was repping Cryptic Command last turn. I drew Stoneforge, so the alternate line is to just cast Stoneforge, but I'm not leaving up any counter spells, so it might be worth just going all in. I think I'm going to go all in this turn. Just cast the Batterskull. Go ahead.
I got really lucky with my draw stuff last turn and drew a Crater Maker.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a counter on my Vial.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I drew Blackleaf Cliffs. I'm going to play a tap. I'm going to play Crater Maker, sack to destroy Batterskull.
Yep.
And then attack you for 4.
I'm at 9.
Best you.
Alright, so I need a new plan here. That plan did not work very well.
Gonna have to stem the bleeding somehow.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we're gonna start with a Stoneforge Mystic.
It's gigantic against my board of 1/1s.
I
The
know.
1/2. Squire's body's so big.
The 1/2 rules in the land of the 1/1s. So we're gonna get this Feast and Famine here. The question is what land to play. I could leave up Cryptic Command, or I could play Celestial Colonnade. I won't be able to equip on the same turn, so it might be worth it to just... Yeah, I just want to leave Cryptic up. So I'll pass to you.
Alright, I'm going to Vial up to 2. Draw for turn. Go to combat.
So, he doesn't have like Death Touch or anything.
Nope.
So, Zach could Vial in a 2-drop. Nothing like messes with combat. So like, because Chieftain's at 3, so I'm gonna let the attack through.
Alright, I'm going to attack you with everything.
Ooh, okay. Interesting.
Wait, no, I'm not going to attack with Sling Gang. That's a bad attack. I'll attack with these.
Okay. I'm gonna block Munitions Expert.
Okay, before damage, I'll sack it to drain you for 1.
So I go to 8.
Yep.
Then 2 damage goes through. I go to 6.
Yep. And then I think it's pretty likely I get Feast and Famine next turn, because there's just nothing really stopping you from doing it. I could rep that I have something to stop you, and maybe you would respect that, but I think overall it's better to just let you do that, because then you just don't have a blocker. You might actually just have to block. You would need something to block, although you have a Colonnade and you'd be able to untap that.
You don't
Yeah,
know if
pretty
Colonnade
well.
at this point. I don't think.
Oh, yeah,
no,
okay,
no,
you said...
I think you saw it from Thought. No, you didn't.
No, I
see
didn't
it
see
from
it,
Thought.
so I don't know that.
You don't know about that one.
But any creature is going to stop this, any removal spell. I think it's just going to be better for me to just put my Cavern of Souls in play and name Goblin, then pass to you.
Interesting. Okay, so I have a field target now, so I'm gonna have a field day and go after your Cavern.
Okay. It says the alternate benefit of thinning my deck a little bit for me. I was going to draw another Sling Gang, so I would have actually killed you next turn. Shame.
That is lucky for me. But yeah, I need a little bit of help here.
Oh, I've actually drained you for one, so I'm at 21.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can definitely get in an attack for 3 next turn if you want, but I'm not discarding anything, so I don't really care. It's essentially like you just left your mana up anyway, because you're going to get to untap them, so that's fine.
At the end of your turn, I'm also going to path the Sling Gang.
Okay, this is going to make a significant change. Man, I really wish I just hadn't searched on, kept the Sling Gang on top. I still think what I need to do is just sack to drain. The land isn't doing anything for me at this point, so I'm going to sack to drain. Fast.
Okay, you're at 22. Alright, now is the time to do what this deck does. So, I'm going to cast Sword of Feast and Famine. I'm going to play my land tapped. It's going to be a good one on tap. Equip. Attack for 3, trigger. Tap lands.
I'm at 19.
I could have used Cryptic to like put something into his hand, like the Aether Vial, but I don't think that's worth it. I'm gonna pass to you.
Alright. Take my Aether Vial up, draw for turn. I'm gonna go to combat.
Ooh, interesting. Huh, so what could this be? This could be a... So, Zach drew a Goblin Matron. How many Munitions Expert are in your deck?
I have 3 total.
3? Okay.
1 more on the board.
Okay, so Zach drew a Matron. You can Matron for Munitions Expert and shoot down the Celestial Colonnade. But I guess I'll just let you attack, yeah.
Attack for 2.
Attacking for 2, okay, so I have... So if I animate Colonnade, I only have 2 mana left, so I can't Cryptic on the same turn. But taking that damage is, it'll be 2 turns before I'm able to stop that line, but obviously he has something. He wants to tap below. He wants to get me to tap below. That's a tough one. Goblin, so I could play around Goblin Matron, but if you have Matron, you can just search for, well, I have the Feast and Famine. You can block with the Matron, but I have enough to animate Colonnade next turn. So I'm just going to take 2.
Okay.
I'm at 3.
I made a big mistake here, I think. Yeah, this is tough. Yeah, I wish my vial was on a different number. I think there's no world where you don't attack with Stoneforge. If I cast this, I'm playing right into it. I still think I have to cast it. I know you have a counterspell because you've been talking about it, but I think just not casting this is even worse, so I'm going to play my Sling Gang. I'm just going to lose it to...
Yes, I'm going to play Cryptic Command, counter, and I don't know what to do with this other mode, because like every time you attack with the goblins, I have like this awkward animate Colonnade situation. I can't bounce Vial because you just recast it. Drawing a card definitely has a lot of value here. I'm just going to draw a card.
Great.
Alright.
Your turn. Yeah, if I could have waited... I think I screwed up really bad by just not leaving these back to block this. You could have Cryptic tapped and then got the card out of my hand.
If I have a land, I can just do this one. Yeah, I can animate the sword and just leave this guy to like...
Oh, sure.
So any untapped land gets around that.
Yeah.
So I think you're right to attack there.
Also, there's a lot of value because I have things that drain, like Sling Gang, like I have Haste Creatures, Ringleader, and...
Yeah, it could have been a lot of different things,
yeah.
Really. There's a lot of different things I could have played around. Most of it was just like... Yeah, I think I had 1 free turn to play around it. I drew a good card.
Okay.
True. Chase the Mind Sculptor.
That is a pretty good card.
What do I do with it, though? I do not know. But I'm going to start by playing it. That's the best spot to start. Huh. Oof. So I have the ability to strand for Mystic Sanctuary, which could put Cryptic Command into my hand. I want to attack with the Feast and Famine, though. And if I do, then I need to like find something else. Otherwise I'll be at 1 life. That's okay. I think I'm going to try it. Okay, I'm going to go to 2 life. Get Sanctuary, target Cryptic Command, put that on top of my deck. Worst case scenario, I have like this Cryptic Lock going with returning Mystic Sanctuary over and over again. So Cryptic on top, then I'm going to Brainstorm 3. I'm going to shuffle back. So I can't gain any more life because you destroyed the batterskull. So fetch lands are a little weird. If I take any damage, they're not very good. So if I put these 2 back, I've already played a land. Huh. I guess 1 fetch is not the end of the world here, so leave a fetch in my hand, even though it's a little risky. I'm going to attack you for 3.
16.
Float 4 blue. I'm at the end of combat with 4 blue floating. See if I want to do something with that mana. No, though. Could flash in Snapcaster. This is an interesting line, actually. I'm like fumbling around where I've like 1 life to pay before I die. I have a Cryptic in my graveyard.
Didn't you draw it already? Or you have another one?
I have another one, yeah.
Okay.
I think it was, no, you didn't take it. Well, it was yeah. But yeah, there's another one in there.
There is. So many cards that can kill me. Oh boy. It's hard. Like the one Snapcaster does have some value. Maybe I can equip there. Then you like lose the goblin. And I can kind of say sayonara to the fetch. Okay. Yeah, so I have 4 mana floating, 6 Snapcaster, flashback Cryptic Command. I'm going to... I can just bounce the goblin. Yeah, I'm going to bounce a goblin and draw a card. Figured it out. And then I'll pass to you. Yeah, that was the right line. Alright, we got some good draws here. Come on, deck. I'm going to go up to 4.
Oh boy. Yeah, I need some time to stop you. I don't know if I'll have enough.
Well, my attack's not great. I think I'm just going to pass to you.
Okay, so Ringleader you would have put in play. You didn't play anything though. Why didn't you play anything? You must have something sneaky. It could be Munitions Expert. Is there any other instance?
I have Tarfire in my deck.
Tarfire, yeah, and I'm at 2. That would be scary. So I don't want to tap low, so I'm just going to go to my turn. So I want to leave up Cryptic, just in case here. There's got to be Munitions Expert or... Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go to attack phase.
Yep.
I'll attack you for 3.
I'll block.
Okay. Second main phase. Going to... Now I could get into Fate Seal mode here. That might be a way to close it. Kiki Jiki won't kill me, so if you're waiting on Vial to go to 5, it won't. It's not the end of the world. So I'm gonna Fate Seal you with Jace.
How do you like this one? What is this?
I love it.
You like
You
it?
keep it.
I can keep it?
You keep that one.
Great.
And I'll play a land for the turn, and I'll pass to you.
You gonna field a rune
No.
before I draw? No? Okay.
No.
Alright. I'm gonna take my vial up to 5.
All right. That's good based on what I gave you.
Okay. You got how many cards in hand? 3?
3.
Alright, not hopeful this does anything. I'll pass to you.
Okay, so he has Inquisition of Kozilek plus X. Okay. I'm gonna start by Fate Sealing you. I think this is, yeah.
How do you feel about this one?
You keep that one.
I keep this one?
Yep.
Love that.
Another Field of Ruin that I will not. I'm not gonna activate that one either.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Now we can get a little aggressive with this Colonnade because I have Cryptic Command up. Go to attacks. I will attack you with... So as long as there's not a Kiki Jiki to surprise attack me, but I'll be able to untap anyway with the sword, so this Colonnade attack is free. So I'm going to attack you with everyone for 9.
Yeah.
It's a Tarfire.
Alright, I'm gonna go to 7.
Okay. I'm going to flow for blue and colorless.
Discard this Inquisition that's probably not doing anything, given that you let me keep it.
That was a good call. I'll pass to you.
Alright. Draw. That is something special there. Well, I am at least protected from Jace Fate Seal. Kind of. I'll play it. You know about it. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the last turn. This still might be a Kiki Jiki. 2. Zach is right. He's protected from Fate Seal, so but I have Cryptic Command to protect from Kiki Jiki if it's a surprise block. So I'm going to animate. And I'm going to attack you with everyone.
I'm gonna activate my vial.
Activated.
Kiki.
Oh, nice. I'm going to... I think Cryptic will just... I think Bounce Draw will get me there, right? Yeah, I'll just Bounce Draw.
I guess I'm supposed to do this at the end of last turn. Just... Alright. And I die.
Yeah.
Oh, I was drawing Matron! That was what I needed the whole time.
Yeah,
The Cryptic was always going to beat me, though.
Yeah, the Matron is scary.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. There was 2 spots there where... like, I drew a Sling Gang with a Vial on 3 and the Sword in play was the only card in hand. I was like... God, if I leave both my guys back, I may be safe, but it's... I don't know. I think it's risky. And I think getting you down to 2 was very valuable because of Tarfire in my deck. So, I don't know. That one's interesting. Still fine with it, but yeah, obviously that could have gone better. Alright, so we're back for some sideboarding. For me, it's pretty easy. Tarfire does kill Stoneforge Mystic and Snapcaster Mage, but it doesn't hit Spell Queller. It doesn't kill your Planeswalkers unless Teferi already minused. So I don't really like Tarfire in the matchup. I'd rather draw things that actually go onto the board. And I'm cutting 2 of my combo pieces because, like I said, I don't think I'm very likely to be able to combo. I'm trying to win a fair game. Bogart Harbinger is just an anemic fair card. And Kiki Jiki you know, you can play with him in the fair deck or in the fair plan, but that's not what he's there for. He's there for the combo plan, and he just kind of works in the fair plan. So I like cutting one. I still have access to the combo in the deck. I still have a Harbinger and a Kiki, so I still can threaten it. I still can use it, but I'm just not very invested in it. And I'm cutting one Mogg War Marshal because the card's fine, but nothing special. I'm bringing in 2 Boils because I want to put the fear in Kyle. I want him to know. I'm bringing my Goblin Trashmaster because it's another way to deal with equipment, but also it's just a Lord, so it's fine in the fair plan. Another Ringleader for some value, and a Munitions Expert because it actually does kill the Spell Quellers. It actually can kill the Stoneforge Mystic, even a Batterskull, Shark Typhoon, all this stuff. So like that, yeah, a Jace too. So like all these, yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and so I actually have, like Zach, I'm just like completely changing the way this deck functions. So it's actually like, I'll start with what I'm boarding out here. The Teferis were kind of interesting. In my hand, I was actually undervaluing them relative to how aggressively Zach took it with Thoughtseize. I actually wasn't expecting that, but it is very good against Aether Vial. But being on the draw, he has a lot of 1/1s. He's pushing the, you know, go wide strategy even further, which is not where Teferi shines, so I'm boarding them out. Mana Leak, really bad against Cavern of Souls, really bad against Aether Vial, so I think that's worth the cut. Even though Zach is bringing Boils, I can Mana Leak a Boil, you know, in certain spots, but I don't think the card's strong enough to warrant keeping it in. Shark Typhoon, it plays fine in the fair matchups, but I'm actually going to lean heavier on Snapcaster Mage. Mainly because I want to be able to do something like Snap Path, Snap Aether Gust. It also works better with Timely Reinforcement, so I'm keeping Snapcaster over the Shark Typhoon. Spell Snare has very few targets, and the ones that, like, if he has Cavern of Souls, like, those are all the targets, so it gets invalidated very quickly. And Cryptic Command actually, I like Cryptic in the matchup. You know, we saw that I'm able to at least threaten a tap all goblins, draw a card. But the reason I'm boarding it out is because I'm bringing in 2 4-drops, so it's just for curve considerations. It's still a very powerful card in the matchup. And last but not least, I have this Force of Negation. I'm actually leaving in 2 because of Zach's threatening to boil. Like, that's very scary, so I'm just respecting that. And in this metagame, there's a ton of blue decks, you know, hence the reason I have 3 Teferis. But a lot of blue comes with a lot of choke, a lot of boil. So I'm leaving in Force, even though there's not a ton of targets. I might be able to hit an Aether Vial. So I do want a plan against Aether Vial because I'm cutting Teferi. So keeping the Forces means I'm not going too far the other direction, not having any answers to Aether Vial. So these are the 10 that I'm cutting. What I'm bringing in is 2 Verdicts. That's pretty clear. He's got a lot of goblins. Aether Gust. This card says red, and Zach has a lot of things that are red. Same deal with the Celestial Purge. It says red again and black, so that exiles all of his permanents. So that's a reasonable one to bring in as well. Containment Priest. This is one that most people are favoring Rest in Peace, but I actually like a split. You can see in the deck list that I have. I have 1 Containment Priest, 1 Rest in Peace. And the reason for that is I like 1 Rest in Peace against Jund to shut off Renin 6 and Tarmogoyf and Kroxa. But I like 1 Containment Priest against all these Aether Vial decks, because if he goes to Vial a creature in, Containment Priest basically just stops it from happening. And the 2/2 flash is incredibly relevant when he's trying to nickel and dime me with all these 1/1 goblins.
Yep, it's just a fine blocker.
Yeah, so it just like does multiple things, and it's cheap, and it has flash. So I like 1 Containment Priest in this matchup. It'll help me when I'm boarding out the Teferis to fight Aether Vial. And then last but not least, I have Timely Reinforcements. It's very good. He's got a lot of goblins, so this will help make sure I don't get like burned out by Sling Dinger. So that's how I'm boarding.
All right, let's shuffle up in battle.
Where are you going? You going to Mulligan Town?
thinking about it. This hand is so close to being good. This is one of the best cards in the matchup. I have 2 copies of it. Unfortunately, I have the 1 land in the deck that doesn't cast it. So that's really awkward. Everything else about this hand is amazing. I would love to keep this hand, but I don't think that I can. I'm on the play too. If I was on the draw, I would definitely keep because it just is a really good hand. But yeah, I think I have to ship this. And yeah, I wasn't drawing red land either, so it was a good ship.
I have Field of Ruin.
You did have Field of Ruin. I had 2 lands, but the 1 swamp and 2 Conspicuous Snoops. All right, I've got an interesting 6 here. It's a pretty slow hand, but it's got some good cards I like in the matchup, and I said I don't like mulliganing hands that have this, so I'm going to keep and bottom this card because it's going to take a while before it does anything.
My hand's also a keep. I think what I send back is fairly obvious here, the one that costs the most, because I'm operating on a few resources here. So bottom encrypted command.
Good?
Yep.
I'm going to play Vial.
Results.
Good
Yeah,
turn.
crack that. Is that the right land?
Oh, no, sorry. Wrong land. I wanted to play Blackleaf Cliffs.
Yep.
Pass.
Okay. I'll play Island. Go ahead.
Take my Vial up to 1. Draw. I'm going to play Blackleaf Cliffs and pass.
Okay, end of your turn. I want to find some land, so I'm going to opt.
Sure.
Do I want this land though? I don't know if I want that land.
So you saw me accidentally play this. This is a really high priority to hold in Goblins post-board when you're trying to get value off of Snoop. You actually just want to be able to save to clear the top of your library to try and put some Goblins on top. So you're going to notice it's the last land I play, if given any choice.
I'm going to actually draw this land.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to yeah, so Violin 1, not super threatening yet. He's threatening a turn 3 Conspicuous Snoop with possibly two looks at a Goblin on top, but I'm just gonna get aggressive and shock and play Stoneforge.
Yep.
I'm gonna get a batterskull on pass turn.
Good. I'm going to take this up, draw. I'm going to play Mountain, pass back to you.
Flooded Strand. This is interesting. That vial is definitely threatening. I might have to be wary of Boil here. Could just untap and Boil. That'd be pretty rough. So that's a consideration for getting a Plains. How many cards do you have in hand?
4.
4. I'm going to pass to you.
I'm going to take this up to 3. Draw. Play Bloodstone Mairon, pass.
I have to be mindful of Boil here. Gonna go to my turn.
Yep.
Flooded Strand and pass.
I'm going to take this up to 4. Draw from your turn. I'm gonna play a land. Cast Thoughtseize.
How many cards do you have?
3.
3. 3. This is a interesting spot. So I don't want my batterskull to get Thoughtseize here. If he has Boil, Zach's really playing like he has Boil. If I counter the Thoughtseize, then Boil resolves. If I throw the batterskull into play, he can take my Aether Gust and then resolve Boil. So I'm in a tricky spot here. This batterskull might be good though. That's something to consider. I could just get 2 planes though and mitigate the damage of Boil and just have it be double Stone Rain. Make it not the end of the world. I think I'm gonna go for that line. So I'm gonna crack Flooded Strand down to 17.
Mm-hmm.
Grab basic planes. And my both planes were on top. And the one Celestial Colonnade, you know, a non-bow with Mystic Sanctuary, but shines against Boil.
That is true.
That's like a tension, because like it would be nice to just play Seachrome Coast in this metagame, but Mystic Sanctuary is so powerful that I'm not doing it still. Okay, I'm gonna activate Stoneforge, put in Batterskull, get Adjourn.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Zach's hand is likely pretty reactive. I'll let Thoughtseize resolve. So you got 18.
I'm going to take the Archmage Charm. Puts me to 18.
And the Archmage's Charm is interesting there, because I had the line a couple turns to like go for stealing Aether Vial, but it left me exposed to Boil, so I didn't go for it.
And then I'm going to pass to you.
Okay. You said you had 3 cards left, is that right?
I have 3 cards, yeah.
3 cards, okay. Okay. So as long as we like play around this Boil, I guess that's like a good reason for cutting the Cryptic command, just moving away from needing triple blue, and then you can just lean on these planes heavier and like leave your fetch lands uncracked. So play fetch land. It's Boil proof. I'm going to attack you for 4.
I'm going to activate Aether Vial. Put a Slinging in play.
Yep.
Come with 2 goblins. I'm going to move to blocks.
Yep, you can block.
Block here?
Yep.
I'll sack to drain you.
Yep. 16.
I go to 19.
2 cards left. So you have less life than you. But I wouldn't be able to get a creature here. So I'm gonna pass you.
Still going to save these fetch lands. It would be good to thin. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and thin once. I'll still leave 1 fetch land, but I really don't want to draw any more lands. So back to 18. I'm going to draw. I'm not going to take a vial. I'm going to leave it on 4. Draw. And I'm going to pass to you.
So I have these fetch lands. They're not islands, which is good against Boil, but not good with Mystic Sanctuary, so that's kind of a tension there. I guess I might as well start by attacking with the Germ token.
I'm gonna go to blocks. I'll block with this token. For 4 damage, I'm gonna activate Vial.
Okay.
Put a Goblin Trash Master in play.
Let's make sure I understand the Trash Man do. Okay, sack a goblin, destroy an artifact. Okay. That's an interesting one. So my options here, I have this Aether Gust that has been exposed to Thoughtseize. I could begin by forcing the action on Trash Master. If I do that, he can sack the Trash Master or the Goblin, destroy the batterskull. So it's better to wait. It seems like it's better to wait for him to act first. So yeah, that's fine.
I'll sack this to destroy that.
Okay, I'm going to. So do I attempt? If I attempt to return batterskull, yeah, this will all end up the same. So the batterskull is going to go away, but I'll kill a goblin by paying 3 mana with this batterskull. So we'll probably lose the Sling Dinger. 2 cards in hand. I feel like feels like one of them's a boil still. This is a tricky situation. I'm going to try to return the batterskull to my hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna respond and sack Sling Gang and kill it.
Okay. Okay, so he's left with the Trash Master. And
Trash Man.
So I haven't played a land yet. Don't know if I want to. We're even on creatures here. I guess I can play this fetch land. Be all anti-boil. I'm gonna pass to you.
Alright. Draw for turn. Activate Aether Vial.
Yep.
Put Ringleader into play.
Yep.
Trigger.
Wow.
I'll get these 3.
That's
on the bottom.
awful for me.
And this is what happens when you're slow playing over there. Like, oh, I'm not going to crack. I'm not going to use my mana. All right, well, now you're falling really far behind.
Yeah, I'm definitely far behind.
Not that there was like a ton you could have done about it, but that just is, the reality, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to take you for 6.
Yep, I'm at 10.
It's your turn.
So, timely reinforcements will juice me up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna cast timely reinforcements.
Okay.
Go to 16. Get a 3/1/1s.
You got 1/1s. Sorry, you know about these 3. I should keep those revealed.
And then I'm gonna pass you.
Right, end of turn. I'm gonna play my Munitions Expert.
Mm-hmm.
Deal 3 damage to that. I'm still gonna leave this on 4. So I have this Ringleader. Draw. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna activate. Put in a Ringleader.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger. Kiki Jiki and Goblin Chieftain. I'm gonna go to combat. Attack with everything.
Okay. I'm kind of priced into wrathing next turn, so I'm just gonna block the largest men and leave Munitions Expert coming through.
Alright, you'll take 2.
Yeah, so I got a 14.
There you go.
Okay. So now I can crack this, go to 13, get a basic planes. So many goblins over there. Okay. Yeah, let's go with Wrath.
They're dead.
And then we'll play. If I want this Sanctuary. Whoops. I'm like kind of exposed to this boil now. I don't actually have another out because I'm getting pressured from all the other stuff, so I have to play into it now because I want a Mystic Sanctuary. I need another island for Mystic Sanctuary to do anything, so yeah. I'm gonna go to 12.
Okay.
Grab a basic island and then play Sanctuary, put Verdict on top and I'll pass.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Boil into turn.
Yeah. Rough. So Verdict is on top. So now I could Gust here. Yep, I'm gonna Gust. Good.
I'm gonna draw for turn. I'm gonna draw Boil.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Boil.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna activate Aether Vial.
Yep.
Put Ringleader in play. Trigger. Got a Munitions Expert. No insane one there, but good enough. I'll take you for 2.
10.
Your turn.
Verdict. So I'm just gonna concede this one.
Okay, was the Boil good enough?
I mean, it wasn't the boil. Like I had a lot of stuff after that. It's just.
Well, I had the Boil the whole game. You were just playing around it the whole game, and you were right to, because it would have blown you out like the whole time. But also because of it being there and the threat of it, you just like kind of time walked yourself a few turns, right? Where you like could have done more stuff and you just never did.
Yep.
And that's just the reality of the card, right? Like it's so game winning when it resolves if you're like even close to behind on board that you just have to respect it. And by respecting it, I get ahead on board. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on the play here. Oh man. 2 Mystic Sanctuaries. And
So-
no white.
I have 3 Thought Seizes, which would be amazing, but I have no lands.
So. Well, it's not good.
2 sinks again.
Yeah, double Sanctuary.
Oh,
Not
geez.
grand.
I actually have a pretty good hand here. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. This card's really clunky. It's the clear bottom. It's just not a card I want in my hand at all. But I got this for a start. I've got some Disruption. I've got a Curve. It's a good hand.
Well, there's no Mystic Sanctuaries in this hand, so we're off to a tremendous start. So at the bottom 2, I have a plan, so that's good. This would be a really good 7. So I'm gonna bottom these 2, and hopefully we get there. All right, Island go.
Draw. Oh, that was also a very good draw. I'm gonna play an Aether Vial.
I'm going to counter that.
Wow. Okay. It's exiled. Your turn.
Yeah, I have a plan. I'm gonna get Batterskull. Go ahead.
Okay.
It probably won't work. Your deck is loaded with interaction.
You have
but,
1 card after that.
1 in Batterskull, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Thoughtseize.
Pretty good.
I'll take the Batterskull. So we had 18, and you have done no damage to
No
yourself.
damage.
Oh, did you fetch? No, you didn't.
Nope.
Um,
You know about Hallowed Fountain.
And I'm gonna go ahead and just play Polluted Delta and past you. 17.
Good.
End of turn, I'm gonna go to 16. Like a red-black land. And a blood crypt. Yeah, it looks weird to force there, but I think it was definitely right. I don't think you were beating my hand if the vow resolved. I think you had no shot.
Yeah, I put Cryptic in land at the bottom. And went with like land, Stoneforge, Force, Snap.
Sure.
So it's, you know, just a way to give me a shot.
No, that makes sense.
If you were interacting less.
I guess Goblin Matron. Trigger. So I didn't leave in Tarfire, which I would actually like here, but I think it's still very easy to just get a ringleader. I'll pass to you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to draw for turn. I'm going to play Anti-Salvo, revealing the ringleader you know about. And then I'm going to start my turn by playing a Conspicuous Snoop.
Yep.
It's going to reveal Cavern of Souls. That's a pretty good one. Then I'm going to play a Mog War Marshal.
Yep.
Gets me a Gobbo, and then I'll pass to you.
We get an island and Supreme Verdict. Go ahead.
It's gone. When he dies, I'll get a 1/1. I'll draw. It's a Cavern of Souls we knew about. I'll play it. Name Goblin.
Yep.
I'm going to play my ringleader. Trigger. It's not a good ringleader.
Alright.
I think if you were going to stay in the game, you needed that, and it was good. Good for you.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll bottom those. Ryu.
Good for me, good for me. Yeah,
You fetched once,
17.
right?
Yes,
16?
I did 16.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Alright, so there's another Supreme Verdict coming for me. So flying the board's kind of tough, but I'm going to do what I can. Go to combat. Attack for 3.
Yep, 13.
Then I'm going to play a Matron off my Cavern.
I'll think about that one. So what do you get? You probably get Ringleader again. I'm going to be tapping out Wrath probably. That's an interesting one. I can interact with that, but then you do it again. Then you have this extra matron on top of your deck. Yeah, I'm gonna Aether Gust the matron.
I'll pass to you.
Then I'll go to 12. Put Wrath on top.
You casting it?
Yeah, then I'll cast it and then pass to you.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to draw my Matron
Yep.
and cast it again.
Sounds good.
Trigger. Get to shuffle all those nice cards I bottomed back in, so that's great. And we're going to get a ringleader, like you predicted. I'll play this and pass to you.
Okay. Jace.
It's a pretty good one.
Fate Seal myself.
Okay.
I'll leave that on top. Go ahead.
I'm going to fetch main phase, or not main phase, but right now,
Yep.
I would like to thin my deck to kind of increase ringleader's hit odds, if that makes sense. Draw for turn. That was actually really good. Well, you can't counter it, so I'm going to save the Cavern. Play Ringleader.
Yep.
Trigger.
Oh, that's bad.
Chieftain, Munitions Expert. I'll attack Jace for 2, you for 1.
Yep. 11.
And then Munitions Expert, Jace.
Yep. Jace down. Go.
Did you keep the card on top?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's probably not great for me. I'm going to go to combat.
Yep, that's fine.
Attack you for 4.
7.
Here you go.
Good.
Draw. Go to combat. Attack the 4.
Spell Queller, Flash.
It resolves before blocks. Munitions Expert it.
Yep.
You take 4 and I'll play a Sling Gang. Drain you.
Alright, I'm good.
Sling some goblos.
Yeah, it's close.
It's close. The mold of 5 is really brutal. I was on 6, but you were on the play, so it's still like kind of up 2 cards.
Yeah. And the Vile Mind Rotted me.
Yeah, the Vile Mind ratted you. Just 1 mana discard 2 cards into 1 mana discard the perfect card. Pretty good. Alright, that was fun.
So the the verdicts were okay. Not great. I mean, all your goblins replace themselves, and the Aether Gust wasn't particularly great either.
Sure.
It did something.
The verdicts are much better game 1 when my goblins aren't so value oriented.
Yeah.
I'm boarding in like just more value stuff, if that makes sense.